wormholes, particle physics, extra dimensions. Are the wonders of so-called reality really what they appear to be? Or do we exist in an elaborate hologram? Is our universe the result of random activity or the result of intelligent design? If a creator was involved, can we discover him through our perception of divine order? This is Into the Multiverse with Josh Peck.
Welcome to a very special episode of Into the Multiverse. We have a fan favorite in studio with us yet again. Before we get to him, though, in studio with me is my lovely, beautiful wife, Christina Peck. How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you doing today?
Doing fantastic. I'm really excited about today's show. We have with us, once again, Trey Smith. Trey, how are you doing?
It's an honor to be, Josh, the honor is on this end to be here with you guys.
We love having you out, and the audience absolutely loves you, and every show we've done with you has been really positive and good, and people enjoy it, so I appreciate you taking the time.
You know, Josh, I love to take the time to come down to, I'll tell you the stuff you guys are doing, Derek and Sharon, Tom Horn, Joe Horn, you know, the Lord has his hands on these things. Mm-hmm. He does. It's an honor to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, anytime. And for those of you at home, it might be your first time watching and you might not be familiar with the show. How can people follow Into the Multiverse? How can they subscribe? All the online stuff.
All this stuff. Okay, well, you can find us here on YouTube at youtube.com/Into the Multiverse. You can also find us on information about us on our homepage at skywatchtv.com. We also have an app for the Android and, well, all smartphones. And you just go to the Apple Store or Google Play and type in Skywatch TV and download the app.
Yes, and if you are viewing on YouTube, please subscribe. It means a lot to us, and it helps us out a lot. Also, because YouTube is always doing new things that sometimes can frustrate people, you got to click on that little bell next to the notification, so that way, when we put up a new episode, YouTube will actually tell you, which you know you would want.
And on the Roku.
Yeah.
On Roku.
I tell you, because my mother watches you guys. She watches you guys, and she loves
great.
you guys.
God
and
bless
Derek
her.
on the. I think there are more people watching on the Roku than anybody knows.
Yeah, there are. Yeah, it's in the millions now.
It's got to be. The TVs are structured for it.
So I want to jump right in. You have a new DVD out called HolyLand, and I've seen a few clips that you've sent, and thank you, by the way. Through the whole process, you've been really forthcoming and keeping in contact with us and showing us stuff that you're doing, and it's super exciting. What first got you interested in this project?
Okay, so we did that video on Donald Trump and last year.
Yep.
And I began talking back and forth with this man named Rick Derringer.
Yeah.
And I didn't know a lot about his, you know, I knew the songs Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo and these other songs, which was kind of turned out to be a little bit funny because places we would go, they would all know him. Even in the West Bank, you know, because we'd be out there in Jericho. They got signs. You pass these signs that say they'll kill you. I don't think if they phrase it like that. Could be dangerous to your life if you pass this sign.
Oh, wow.
Well, we drove past the sign. We recorded. It wouldn't make a good video if we didn't drive past the sign. We ended up spending a lot of time in there. Well, and we would talk about this while we were in there. You know, it seems like we've been in here a long time. But it helped to bring Rick along because the angry-looking people, you know, if you say, "Oh no, this is the guy, the American rock star," they, you know, they change the attitude.
Kind of calmed them down.
Well, yeah, if you've got like a camera or something to put on them too, you'd be funny because guys, they'll like polish their guns off. You know, does it look better? you know, it takes on a different atmosphere. You know, everybody wants to look good. You know, even the guy that's blowing people up. You know. but we did the places that were, and that's the funny thing too, is you would forget it was dangerous out there. And
yeah, even from the clips, it looks like you guys were having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We went out there into Jericho where the walls fell down. The science people claim that didn't even happen. Well, we were out there at the site. We climbed all over the walls. We went in Rahab's place.
Wow.
Amazing.
I don't know if it was Rahab's place. I'm just assuming.
Right.
Well, there was no sign out there or anything, and she was not in there.
Right.
And so, but there is a portion of the wall still standing with a room in it and a window. We went to Sodom and Gomorrah, but there are literally sulfur balls that pelt these cities. You're in the middle of nowhere. You've got to know where it is. You've got to turn out into the desert, and you've got to drive way out in there. You're in the middle of all this ash. And what it really is in the center is like an impact zone. And then on the sides, it like retains the shape of buildings and stuff like that. And what you're finding is these sulfur balls, they're in shells. They're in like hard shells, and on the inside you've got this hard yellow sulfur. You know, and they can be the size of boulders. They can be the size of your fist. They can be little bitty ones. Billions of them. The ash is just so littered with them. So you claw through that ash a little bit, and you'll be pulling them out all over the place. And then in the walls of the city, it's all ash. So you put your hand in it, it'll all crumple down, and you see this on film everywhere. You've got all these balls that are in the walls, size of your fist, size of boulders. They're all coming in.
So that was cool that you actually met Rick Derringer, and then he wanted to do this trip. How did that whole meeting work, and how was he to travel with? Because in the clips it looked like he just looks like a cool guy to hang out with.
He was. You wouldn't even know it. He's just a real humble dude, and he would throw stuff out there. You'd be cruising along with him, and he'd be like, one time I was on the Cyndi Lauper tour bus, and I had to make coffee for them, and they didn't know how to.
Nonchalant.
Yeah. He's a very, very humble guy. He was the one that produced all the Weird Al Yankovic stuff.
Yeah, I was reading about that. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy was either involved with or produced a lot of the music of the '60s, the '70s, some of the '80s.
Yeah, a lot of stuff we grew up with.
Yeah.
He really did. And Free Ride, I think. Dan Hart. So I can just tell you, of people in that industry or that do that, there's nobody else I would have rather gone with. He's just a very humble, nice guy.
Yeah.
And in fact, I drove down a couple of months ago. He was doing some of the shows. So they did one in San Antonio and I think in Austin and so Rick and Jen and I went out to we drove from one of the shows to I think the Austin one maybe in my car. And Rick started crying in the back seat, and he just really loves playing those songs for the people, and he just really loves doing that.
Yeah. Because
I had thought to myself, because I think I started the conversation with him. I said, "My gosh, Rick, I mean, you've been playing that song, some of these songs for 20, 30, maybe 40 years.
Yeah.
That's got to get old." And he started crying and talking about the songs, and that he just really loved doing them. And another thing about them is that they're kind of clean. A lot of this stuff today, it's trying to really push the boundaries on everything.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of that stuff was just good music, depending on what you like in music. But I mean, some of the most successful music on earth was, Rick happened to be there.
Yeah.
Whether that Weird Al stuff, those were all platinum albums. That means 1 million copies. So he was, happened to be there.
Yeah. I thought that was kind of cool too in the clips that you sent, because this isn't this movie that you guys put together. It's not the typical, well, we go to Israel and here's this and here's that, kind of dry, kind of informative thing. There's a lot of information in here, but it's exciting and it's fresh because you have good conversations with people. I mean, there's Rick's commentary in there from the music side of things, which I've never seen in an Israel documentary.
It was really lighthearted.
It's a first.
Yeah. It was lighthearted.
Fresh
It was
and
fun,
new,
and you can tell you guys were having fun. And it seems like that's more intriguing, I think, for the viewer. It's not just somebody like, oh, okay, this is what I know from history and this is my research. This is, okay, you have your research, you have what you know, but you're having a fun, lighthearted conversation while doing it.
We had a good time, and a lot of those areas are the places that they tell you can't go.
Yeah.
So
Yes. How'd you pull that off? Did you just go, or did you have to get special permission?
Well, no, I don't know that they say you can't go. Okay, so when you're watching the news, most of the problem, you're going to hear about the West Bank a lot. You're going to hear, so.
Like the more dangerous kind of areas.
Well, it didn't seem that way though when we were there. I'm telling you the truth about it. That when we began to go in and out of these places, first of all, man, look, Israel. One of the things we learned while we were there, Israel needs the right to build on its own land.
Yes.
This is stupid.
Yeah, I totally agree.
That entire West Bank is, first of all, these are beautiful areas.
Yeah.
All of the beautiful parts of Israel are the places that are controlled by Israel.
Yeah.
And even the Palestinian Christians that we met, largely a lot of these people that would take us in and out, they were Palestinian Christians. These people they're always going to gravitate to that Israeli side because that's where the food is better, that's where it's safer, that's where, why wouldn't you?
Exactly.
You would be foolish to do it any other way.
Yeah.
What you're seeing on news screens and stuff is, it's a bunch of, it's lies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's lies.
Hyped up and well, like the term fake news is pretty popular now.
Look, the area is controlled by Israel. You feel like you're in a nicer version of America in the areas that are Israeli.
Yeah.
They're really, the food is amazing there. I mean, all of the breakfast, even at the least of places there. It's going to be fresh fruits and vegetables, and even the McDonald's there.
Oh, yeah.
McDonald's. Because I called people after I went to the McDonald's. I couldn't believe this. I called people. I said, Michael, Michael lives in the UK. I said, what's a McDonald's hamburger like in the UK? Oh, it's just like the United States. Okay, so it sucks there too.
Yeah.
But I called around several. What's a McDonald's like in China? Oh, well, it's same thing. In Israel, it's not the same thing.
Wow.
You order a McDonald's hamburger, it's about this big. You're not going to find a burger like that at a steakhouse in Texas.
That's crazy.
You go into the McDonald's, the best hamburger you're going to find. I'm not making it up. You order whatever hamburger. That's the only thing available at McDonald's. Are the best hamburgers in the world.
That's awesome.
You can't even get a bad hamburger at a McDonald's. You can't.
That's amazing.
It's not available on the menu. It's not available.
I should have managed at that McDonald's.
Yeah.
It's almost like to really rub it in. When you come back here, everything feels sort of fake.
Yeah.
There, it's real. That really is the tomb.
Wow.
Yeah, the McDonald's hamburger is like the cherry on top. It's just, it's really like that. Now it's about $15. So to eat at McDonald's is about $15.
Sounds like it's worth it though.
Yeah, it's like 65 shekels or like $15 US. A McDonald's is like a prestige place to go.
Oh wow.
So if you're eating at McDonald's, you made it.
That is awesome.
And it's real. It's real.
Yeah.
Josh, it's real. The tomb is real. You're going to feel it when you're walking through those streets. Those streets are thousands of years old.
I've heard that from other people who have been there too. That when you go there, you can feel just the presence of God. You can actually feel that there. And we haven't been yet, but we hope to someday.
You're going to go, man.
Yeah. But yeah, we've heard that from other people too. So it's you can actually like.
I tell you, the Lord, when you go down there to Israel, Josh, and you guys are gonna go, and I tell you, you're just gonna love it. In fact, everybody watching should make that. This Holy Land video will give you a feel of Israel it's a different kind of feel because you're going to areas that you're probably not going to go to if you're taking the tour bus.
Yeah.
The official tour guide for the Garden Tomb, he keeps telling us about this Muslim sign and stuff. And I said, there's a cross hole in here that they found. There should be 3 of them. One were found. Oh, I don't know nothing about no cross hole, The guy that drove us there, because we went in there after hours, and there's no way that we would have gotten to film the garden because it's always full of people. Yeah. Except on this one particular day, we got to film it with nobody in there. And that's because Benny Hinn's friend's father, whatever. This guy, we get in this car with this guy. I didn't even know who he was. Just a dude driving a minivan around, smoking a lot of cigarettes. He's like, but he knew everything about all of it. He's hold on, let me show you guys this. And we're in the car with him, and this is on the first occasion I was recording him. And he looks over, he goes, well, there was this one time I was dead for like, maybe like 1 week.
Oh, wow. Maybe like 1 week.
Yeah, he was pretty rough about it. He says...
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to cut to commercial real quick, and then we're going to hear the conclusion of that story, because I definitely want to hear this. Stay tuned.
Could there exist a master blueprint from ancient times that is determining the events of modern times? Is it possible that an ancient mystery lies behind current events, including the rise and fall of leaders, governments, and even the presidents of the United States? Could a blueprint from the ancient Middle East actually foretell the events of our day so precisely it even reveals when these events must take place, down to the year and even the exact days? The master blueprint in the paradigm even revealed the date of 9/11, years before it took place. From Jonathan Cahn, best-selling author of The Harbinger, The Mystery of the Shemitah, and the Book of Mysteries, comes The Paradigm, the ancient blueprint that holds the mystery of our times. In his most explosive book to date, Jonathan Cahn opens up the master blueprint that is now unfolding before our eyes. How has the paradigm already affected your life, and how will it impact your future? Cahn takes you on a journey from Middle Eastern landscapes to Washington, D.C., from ancient palaces to the White House, from mysterious priests and priestesses to ruthless kings and queens, from gods and goddesses to prophets and holy men. What does the mystery reveal about what lies ahead? And what is the warning it contains? You will be stunned and amazed at the revelations contained in Kahn's most explosive book yet. One thing is certain, once the veil is removed, you will never see the world in the same way again. Find out more when you read Jonathan Cahn's The Paradigm, the ancient blueprint that holds the mystery of our times.
Are you ready for the best deal anywhere on Jonathan Cahn's newest works? Now, while supplies last, when you purchase New York Times best-selling author Rabbi Jonathan Cahn's brand new book, The Paradigm, from Skywatch TV, you'll receive an unprecedented special offer. Skywatch TV is proud to announce the Ultimate Paradigm Collection. When you purchase Paradigm from the Skywatch TV store, you'll receive The Tales of a Wandering Prophet by author Hugh B. Sin, the minister who spoke to Jonathan Cahn before he released his breakout book, The Harbinger, and prophesied that it would indeed become a New York Times bestseller before it actually happened. In this book, Hubie shows you how to hear from God and demonstrates how God can use anyone for His glory. You'll also receive Jonathan Cahn's best-selling books, The Book of Mysteries and The Mystery of the Shemitah. But that's not all. In this incredible limited-time offer will also include 2 full-length special presentations on DVD by Rabbi Jonathan Cahn himself. In the 6 heavenly entities, Cahn reveals how God chose to use the Hebrew language to communicate His Word, and how the awesome reality of God is often diluted when the English language is the only one used to interpret Scripture. In the Cosmic Bride and Bridegroom, you'll discover that one of the greatest mysteries in Scripture is often clouded by common misconceptions regarding our relationship to Christ. Sold separately, this exclusive offer retails for more than $120. Yours now for only $29.99 plus shipping and handling. You won't find this collection anywhere else, so don't delay. Order the Ultimate Paradigm Collection now at skywatchtvstore.com or call 1-844-750-4985.
Welcome back to Into the Multiverse. Okay, I don't want to waste any time. So the guy, he died for a week?
Well, that's what he laid on us,
Yeah.
and we were on our way to the Garden Tomb, which he said was probably already closed, but he thought he knew a guy working the door, and the way that works in Israel is you get out, so you get your shekels out and you just walk up, just put it in the hand and keep walking. don't even argue like when they say we're closed, the gates or whatever. You just keep on moving and say no, thank you. you, thank you, thank you. Okay, guys, come on. They said go. And you go in, and I think it was the TBN film crews or somebody that was there.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, and Rick and I, we actually have that on film too. So we walk in and we're like, hey guys, can you please move your stuff? And the guy goes, he goes, what? He says, we've got a license to be out here. I said, I know. That's why we're saying we got to have you move your stuff. We can't get a shot of the tomb with you in here. And they did.
Oh, wow.
Well, yeah. And then some other people came out and were mad about it. But it took them a while to get there. So we got some wonderful shots with nobody there at the Garden Tomb. On this one occasion, oh man, they had to set this stuff aside for 20 minutes. So what? Like, I mean,
yeah,
get over it, bro.
Right.
So we got some beautiful shots of it then, and then we came, you know, we went to the Garden Tomb on a couple of days, and I recorded it. Normally, it's full of a lot of people in there, and we had the cross hole. On film. I don't know if that's the cross hole of Jesus or not. Right. But it is a cross hole.
With the cross hole thing and the suppression of that kind of stuff, did you notice a lot of that kind of stuff over there?
I felt like the doors that wouldn't ordinarily open would open. When we went down to the Jordan River, you've got to drive through. To get to the Jordan River, there's probably a long way around. We went right through Jericho. I mean, we seem like we went through Jericho a lot, but the Jordan River is at the crossing spot is right. You go through Jericho, and it's right there. And you drive through. I remember looking, and the guy, you know, this was one of the guides. He says we have to be careful. There's landmines on both sides of the street. It's very narrow.
Oh wow!
I said there's landmines. Oh yes, there's landmines. I was like, man, you seem so nonchalant about that. Of course, there's landmines on there. Where else would you put the landmine? Yeah, stick it right there. You know, and yeah, but there's, you know, I guess that's what the big signs that are in Israeli read is that these are landmines. We drove in there, and apparently the gates would be closed at certain times. You know, I don't know. He says, "This is rare. The gate is open." And so we went in, and the fact that the gate was open allowed us to drive through the landmines.
Wow.
Yeah. It's, but that actually was a good thing. And you get in there, there's white doves out there too. I don't know if somebody brought those out there or not, but there are white doves out there at the Jordan River.
Yeah, and those clips, some of the shots that you took, so you were in the boat and everything, and just beautiful, beautiful scenery.
Gorgeous.
That guy's name was David. When we were at the sea again, this dude waited for. So here again, this dude could not have done it the day before. We were just coming back. We drove clear across. We were actually, our schedule got off because we ended up staying down at the Dead Sea, and that all of that stuff at the Sea of Galilee is completely on the other side of the country. We were supposed to ride that boat at like 9 in the morning. Well, we drove all day. It was like 5 o'clock at night when we finally got there. Haley calls. She says, this boat guy has written a couple of times. Do you want to ride the boat? I said, well, can we do it tomorrow? He says, oh, no. It's Passover. He can't do nothing tomorrow and for the next few days. So that's it. So is there another boat, dude? No, there's no other boat, dude. He can do it now or he can't do it at all. So you guys want to do the boat or not? And it's lucky he waited because he don't want to wait no longer. And so we said, well, we'll do it. She says, well, I've got to tell him where you're at. No, we don't know where we're at. And none of our GPS worked anyway. Out there. No, we couldn't. None of us had a phone that would tell us where to get to anything. Wow. Well, this guy led us in. That boat that we rode at that time, first of all, had we come at any other time of day, it would not have been pretty like that. Those were like perfect sunsets. Even
it was beautiful.
Yeah, even he mentioned, he goes, it's rarely like this, and I'm out here every day. Wow. And what's funny about this guy that waited for us, named David, he's got the only recreation of the Jesus boat, board for board. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but he also, though he lives in Israel, he's actually from like Massachusetts.
Oh, really?
Okay.
And he watched the Trump video and had voted for Trump with his absentee ballot. Yeah, we're out there on the boat. Can you believe that?
That's amazing.
He was like, I had to send him my ballot. And he showed, and he asked, I'm sorry, David, I had to admit it. It's too good of a story. He said, will you not put that on tape because it'll affect that? There's liberals liberals that ride on my boat. David, forgive me. But
most liberals aren't going to watch this show, so it's fine.
Yeah, they don't like us
well,
very
you know
much.
what? Even if they do, the David, look, you're going to have to swallow it because that's the only recreation of the Jesus boat on the Sea of Galilee.
Wow.
And, you know, maybe David will be nice and only charge you double or something. He's lucky he's letting you ride it all. Mount Hermon.
Yeah.
It's right there on the border of 3 countries. You've got Lebanon, Syria, and Israel. Right there where the armies of darkness are going to march through, I guess, or thereabouts. That mountain's right there.
Yeah.
And that mountain is really what sort of creates or makes the Jordan River runs down this way, all the way down into the Dead Sea, which is down here. And that Sea of Galilee is absolutely beautiful. And in fact, that Mount Hermon that you can see from a distance, it's a gorgeous mountain.
Oh wow! Did you get any cool shots of it? Or?
Well, not from close up because we didn't. It's
probably pretty far out.
Well, we just didn't have it. You know, maybe the Lord saved that for somebody else.
Yeah.
I mean, this is one of the most volatile borders on Earth. Damascus is right the other side of it.
Right. Yeah.
Right. I mean, every terrorist organization in the world is right there, and yet there it is.
That's awesome.
So I got to ask, what is next for Trey Smith? What's going to be the? Do you have anything?
Well, eventually we're gonna. Eventually, we mean to do the Exodus thing.
Wow.
Well, we believe the Exodus happened.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. We're just gonna go before the Lord about it. There's some different pieces of things that are together, and for the moment, this is what we have. I think that we have a president in office that very much supports Israel.
Yes.
I think this man I went to Israel with, his music was used in that president's election, and he's very supportive of. And I think this is a time to pray for our nation and to also pray for Israel. And this is an unusual visit to Israel.
Yeah. I totally
Just like
agree.
the people here are going to take. You guys are going to go and you're going to see that Holy Land. And so is Derek Gilbert and others. that are here at Skywatch.
Yeah, he's going next year, I believe.
Yep.
And there'll be a groundwork there for presentations that are even larger than. Look, Israel is the apple of God's eye.
Amen.
Yep.
And this is the Holy Land, and you're absolutely right. We went in there in the places they say don't go.
Yeah.
And we went in there with the people that'll block the cameras for the stuff they don't want you to see.
Yeah.
And the Lord did that for us because that head blocking, that was saved for us to be there that day. And those gates that were open, they were there for us to drive through
Wow.
at that moment. That was God opening gates and doors and blocking cameras.
Wow.
And so I'm
So
glad we
cool.
lived to bring it to you.
If people want to pick up the movie or watch it, where can they go?
GodInANutshell.com, and make sure you also subscribe to Skywatch because we ask you that before we let you get one.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for coming back on the show. This has been an absolute blast. It
Awesome.
always is having you.
It's an honor to be here.
No, amen. And thank you all at home for watching Into the Multiverse. Check us next time. Till then, take care and God bless.